As settlers rushed westward and made their claims on the land and pounded the first fence posts into the untouched soil, they were armed with a new agricultural implement. Many of these farmers took with them John Deere steel beam plows such as this one. These plows were special because they scoured themselves and the soil did not stick to them. This was the richest farmland that the farmers had seen in America. And this is the story of how one man broke the plains one plow at a time. John Deere. At the name, you may think of a yellow and green tractor pulling a plow or planter down a field, or of a combine harvesting a crop of golden wheat or yellow corn. Or you may use a John Deere lawn mower or lawn tractor to mow your lawn. But the truth is, the story of Deere goes much further back than you may think. It all started in 1837 when John Deere invented the first commercially successful steel plow. John Deere was born in the town of Rutland, Vermont in 1804. His father, William Deere, was a tailor who left on a trip for England when Deere was very young. William Deere never returned from this trip, and the last words heard from him were in a letter to his oldest son, saying, "My dear child, as I am to be absent from you many months, I wish you to attend to a few kinds of instructions from one who has your welfare at heart. Be faithful to your master and to his interests. Be obedient to him and Mrs. Warren. Be friendly and kind to all the family. Let truth and honesty be your guide, and on no pretense deviate from it. Be dutiful to your mother, kind to your sister and brothers. Have the fear of God before you. Implore his protection, and you'll obtain it likewise, the good of all mankind." John Deere also took these words into consideration when he became an apprentice to a local blacksmith named Captain Benjamin Lawrence at age 17. After his apprenticeship with Lawrence, Deere opened a blacksmith shop of his own. His blacksmith shop burned down twice, and it was at this time that he learned that a friend was moving west to Illinois. Deere decided to follow, and in 1836 he arrived in the newly established town of Grand Detour, Illinois. Once in Grand Detour, Deere opened a blacksmith shop, since there were none yet there. He also quickly became acquainted with the town's founder, Leonard Andrus. He also learned of the sticky Midwest soil and how it stuck to the farmers' conventional wooden and cast iron plows. He also heard farmers say things such as, "I would rather plow the rocky soil back east than have to deal with the sticky soil of the Midwest." Deere pondered how he could change their minds. And one day in 1837, on a visit to Leonard Andrus's sawmill, Deere had an idea. He saw a broken sawmill blade leaning against the wall and asked Andrus if he could have it. Andrus said yes, and Deere worked hours into the night forming the blade. Deere's final product was his steel plow. Deere tested his plow in a field belonging to a friend, and all who saw it were amazed at how the plow scoured itself. Deere did not know what to do with his plow, so he put it on a wooden box in front of his blacksmith shop. And one day, a traveler came through Grand Detour and saw the plow. The traveler bought the plow from Deere for $25 and later came back to tell Deere how good his plow was. Deere partnered with Leonard Andrus, and together they sold a total of 75 plows, all of which were made by John Deere in his blacksmith shop. However, the partnership became strained, and Deere moved to the newly established town of Moline, Illinois, along the mighty Mississippi River, which offered water power and a shipping route. Moline was part of the Tri-Cities, which also included Rock Island, Illinois, and Davenport, Iowa. Here, Deere partnered with Robert Tate and John Gould, and they raised the rafters of a 3-story blacksmith shop that they named the Moline Plow Works. At the Moline Plow Works, they continued to manufacture the original steel plow. However, the partnerships once again became strained, and John Gould left the partnership and was followed closely by Robert Tate. John Deere had now become the plow king, and he decided to leave day-to-day business to his son Charles Deere. Under Charles, the company manufactured their first riding plow, the improved Hawkeye corn cultivator. Charles also applied for the company's first patent. This patent was on the molds which they now used to cast the steel plows. Also under Charles, the company made another walking plow which had a steel beam instead of wood. Then, in 1868, Charles Deere incorporated the company as Deere & Company, and the Leaping Deer logo was born. They also came out with several more walking plows and other riding plows, which included the Gilpin Sulky plow. The company also came out with a gang plow, which was pulled by a tractor. This is a picture of the John Deere ironworkers who enjoyed working for the company. Neither John Deere nor his son Charles Deere ever lived to see the production of a John Deere tractor. After Charles Deere died, his son-in-law, William Butterworth, took over the company. William saw how many other companies, such as Case and The Best, had started producing steam tractors, and he knew that if he wanted to keep the business alive, Deere & Company would have to produce a tractor. And in 1918, the Waterloo Boy, a kerosene-powered tractor, was the first John Deere tractor. The Waterloo Boy was followed by the Model D, which was followed by the number 1 and the number 2. These were the company's first combines. John Deere's plow is considered a major turning point in the settlement of the West because the soil stuck to conventional wooden and cast plows. But with Deere's plow, however, the share scoured itself and saved farmers much time. The plow was also more environmentally friendly than later plows because it dug a deeper furrow and turned the soil over so that it was not used over and over again. John Deere once said, "I will never put my name on a product that does not have in it the best that is in me." Today, his company still follows these words and is one of the leading tractor producers in the world. They are also in more than 30 countries worldwide and have over 55,000 employees.